Hello everybody. Welcome to the weekly reading from the beautiful, beautiful abandoned coast. Sounds like the waves are going to do most of the talking for me. Which is as it should be, because the waves are gorgeous and the day is beautiful, and the day before Thanksgiving, it's an American holiday, but to me, I'll take any opportunity to find ways to feel grateful in my heart for the things that I have and even the things that I don't have, because they're just a thought process away. So I come with really great news. The really great news is the astrology is really fine. It's really lovely for this week of socializing and travel, and maybe, I don't know how your family is, if there's uncomfortability, it's an easy time to move within these parameters. So here's the big reason why, and I think I talked about it last week, is that we are moving out of Scorpio season. Yesterday we had that very last bit of Scorpio sun, Scorpio moon energy, and then it moved, and now Sagittarius is ruling the roost, and how lovely, and it's what I was talking about last week between that mutable energy and fixed energy, is that we're finally like unsticking our boots from the swamp of what has felt really stuck. And now we're all sick of being stuck. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing, because when we get sick of stewing in our own juices, then we're cooked. And now it's time to take us out and see what we are now on the other side of this really deep, really intense, really transformative eclipse season. And how beautiful to then be able to come out of the woodwork and celebrate what we're thankful for. And today, on the day before, it's such a beautiful thing to set your intentions for how you want to be thankful tomorrow, for how you want to show up for your life impending, because here comes this new moon. What's really beautiful today is Wednesday, is that Jupiter has now gone direct, and it's still in Pisces. And this is the last month that we're going to have Jupiter in Pisces for 12 years, you guys. And this is like the time to create. It's creative. It wants to be touching other worlds. It wants to be feeling other feelings. It just wants. And so it's this really beautiful time, because Jupiter wants us to win. Like, this is a win, right? And so we've got Jupiter now direct. At the very same moment, like within minutes, like 10 minutes of each other, is the new moon today in Sagittarius. And that all happens around 3 p.m., a little bit before, like 2:53 or something like that. I don't know the exact time. But if you can just take a little bit of time this afternoon, as you're getting ready for family, as you're traveling, as you're finishing your workday, as you're in the middle of your workday, on your lunch break, or towards the end of your day, whatever it is, around 3 p.m., is this really beautiful time where now there's optimism, now there is this feeling of release. Like, what has been holding me back all of this time? Like, why have I felt so stuck? What is the thing that is stuck inside of me? And let's not forget, Mars is still retrograde. Mars is always the kind of, snafu that gets in the way of all the good astrology right now. But really the question is, what is your choice for the holiday? Because we all ultimately do get to choose optimism or pessimism all the time, every day, no matter how bad or good things are. It's like you can ruin a good thing by being like, oh, but how long is it going to last? Maybe this isn't forever. Maybe I'm going to lose everything. And maybe you are, but perspective is really what's on the table, because Sagittarius wants to see things new. Sagittarius wants to travel, if not physically, in our mind. Sagittarius is a great time to write letters, to write our own manifestos, to write like what it is that we're here to do in this next cycle of our lives. And it doesn't always have to be happy. Sagittarius is an optimistic planet. It is, ruled by Jupiter, which is so lovely, because here's Jupiter going direct in Pisces at the same moment. Like, just think about that for a minute, how juicy, how potent, you can make this holiday, you can make this week and this day, when you're working with astrology that really wants to support you. And so here's the thing that I'll always say with good and bad astrology is that it is what we make of it. You know, this day could pass by with not a thought in that direction. Or you watched this video, you're welcome, and I've reminded you to think about something that you can really sink your teeth into today. What would be a beautiful new affirmation for you to write on your bathroom mirror, that you could write on your heart for the next period of time? Because Sagittarius is the archer. We can point and we can aim and we can hit that mark. But it's all about perspective. It's like when we wish for something, it'll come to us, just maybe not in the way that we had intended. And it's the same thing with our thought systems, with our belief systems, with who we think we are in this world. Sagittarius doesn't want to commit. Sagittarius doesn't want to say, I'm always going to be this way. Sagittarius doesn't want to say, I'm always going to be sad or I'm always going to be happy. Sagittarius wants us to take the bites of the juicy things, good, bad, or ugly, just new. Like when you go to a new country and you eat something that's really gross maybe, but you tried it. That's Sagittarius. Just try it. Just give it a try. Just try on the clothes. Just, go to the concert that you wouldn't normally go to, or see a friend that you haven't seen in a long time. Do something that's going to shift you out of the everyday, out of the this is who I am all the time. Because none of us want to be the same all the time. It doesn't work. And in fact, that is a leading cause of depression, is when you have nothing to look forward to. Because did you know that when you're planning a trip in your mind, or you're planning a get-together, or you're planning something that makes you really happy, your body releases the same endorphins as when you're actually doing the thing. And that's why when we're teenagers, for example, and we're going to the prom and we're getting ready with our friends and we're getting all excited, and then we get to the prom and it kind of blows. That's because we spent more time enjoying the planning of it than the actual doing of it. The actual doing of it wasn't nearly as fun as how we could imagine it to be. And so that is prime Jupiter in Pisces, Sagittarius new moon vibes. What we can imagine is so much more beautiful than anything else. So what's really important is that we do take the time to imagine. The Beatles would want us to, right? Like if we really take the time to imagine a world where this is how I get to spend my day. Food prepping, listening to seagulls, being by the ocean. Shadow side, I'm missing my mom who just passed away. This is the first big holiday without her. It hurts. I woke up tearful. I woke up with feelings, and it's just about perspective. It's like, yes, there is room for my grief, but yes, there is room for God, goddess, whatever. There is room for that too. They're all here together with me, talking to me, and that's okay. It's okay to feel joy and sadness at the same time. I think that's where survivor's guilt comes from, is that there is this notion that you are not allowed to be grateful and joyful in your heart while you're also nursing a broken heart. But there's room for both, and that's what Sagittarius and Jupiter want to show us, is that there is room to create, especially all of the artists of the world, all of the authors of the world, all of the greats, the musicians of the world understood this concept that pain is art, that your pain is a conduit for which your creative portals go through. So wherever your pain source is that this Scorpio eclipse season has brought out, resurrect it. Let it be present. Let it be here. The family drama of the holidays, whatever. Let it all be so present here that then you can recreate it into something beautiful, into something holy, into gratitude, which is what this week should really be about, is just this form of gratitude that we're all get to be here in these meat sacks of ours, and that who knows how long we're going to get to be here, because things can happen in the turn of a dime. And really, who you have around the table, rather awkward or loving or joyful or, through some form of necessity, they're there and you're here. And we only get to be there and here this one moment in this life of ours. And so spend some time today manifesting what that next adventure needs to be. Is it a writing project? Is it traveling? Is it talking, reaching out to someone? Like, what is the space inside of you that is yearning to move? Because the fixed energy of Scorpios kept us really confused. It's kept us really stuck, and it's kept us really emotional. And I say, keep all that and use it as fodder for the fire, because Sagittarius is a fire sign. But it's a fire, not necessarily like Aries, that's like a physical fire. It's a mental fire. It's a philosophy. It's a new way of envisioning the world, because even if you're not here by the ocean with me, you're here by the ocean with me, because I'm here with you and I'm talking to you. And it's a state of mind. It's a place that we can go, that we put ourselves, a safe space in our hearts that we can build and always go to when the real world feels like too much or too hard. Sagittarius says, no, that's just a state of mind. Your state of body can shift at any moment, and that's a choice. When we start realizing that we always have a choice, that in our lives, no matter what we don't have choice over, we always at least have choice over our attitude and our effect and our participation in what's actively happening right now. That's facts. That's real. So today we're going to pull Reclamation. My mom gave me this deck. It was the last tarot deck she gave me, so I brought it on this trip. Reclamation is the Devil card. But what a great reintegration of that tarot card, that instead of calling it death, we call it reclamation. And how perfectly fitting for the energy vibes that we're in right now, because it is time to break our chains. It's time to stop with whatever habit, whatever thing we've been doing that hasn't been serving us or for our highest good. We have to get out of the habits that keep us limited. We have to get out of the state of mind that continues to remind us that we're not good enough, because that's just not true. We're all here on this planet to be learning and working and becoming the very best versions of ourselves. We're not going to get there. Spoiler alert, life is hard and messy and never turns out the way we think it's going to. But the good news is that it never turns out the way we think it's going to. And that can either be something to be afraid of, or it can be a reclamation. It can be a notion of, the canvas isn't ever finished. I can always start over. I can always paint over this and make something really beautiful out of the broken bits. It's always possible to succeed when our vision and our notion of success is ever shifting and changing. What if success was just you got through the day without hating yourself? What if it's you got through this holiday without starting a fight? That'd be dope. There's so many ways that we can be successful every single day, and there are so many ways that we can reclaim ourselves every single day. And when we start seeing the day as an active participant, as an active journey, as that we're not just trying to build for some future tomorrow that doesn't exist, we are literally here right now doing the work for this moment. And what I love is that most times when you check in with yourself moment to moment, you're really okay. Most of the time, we're okay. It's just these deep moments of grief and sorrow and our deep moments of joy and ecstasy that trick us into thinking that now doesn't exist, but now is all that exists. It is the only thing. And so when we sit in gratitude actively in this moment right now, I just want you to sit, reclaim yourself, and think of a way in which you can reclaim yourself today. Or think of something right now that you are supremely grateful for, because we all have at least one thing to be grateful for. And what is it? And hold that in your heart today and see how the day changes around you when you allow your perspective to change. When you allow gratitude to be the driving force of the day, because to me, I'm not a fan of Thanksgiving. I don't think that the history of Thanksgiving is very chill. I'm not about it. What I am about, though, is a full day that I just get to take advantage of the notion that gratitude can always and always will change my life, because it's a state of being that releases all of those chemicals in my body that makes me feel well, that makes me feel supported, that makes me feel in touch with the sun on my face and the ocean waves behind me. That's what gratitude does. So plan something. Plan a writing project. Plan a date with your loved ones. Plan a trip. Plan anything that's going to put you in that state of sublime gratitude. Because really, that's all there is. Because tomorrow's never promised. All there is today. And if we all started living a more present lifestyle, we would all be more connected, more supportive, more compassionate. We would all only be living in the moment of the experience that we are currently experiencing. And it wouldn't be about tomorrow, and it wouldn't be about what hurt us yesterday. It would just be about what it is today that our bodies and our souls and our hearts want. And so what do you want today? Jupiter wants to give it to you. Sagittarius wants you to think about it different. How can you do that for yourself today and this whole week through? Because the astrology is so supportive to reclaim what feels like was lost in the eclipse season. And here's something really beautiful, is that when you go to reclaim the parts of you that got really lost, you're gonna find a different you. And that's a beautiful thing, good, bad, or ugly, you know? Sometimes I feel like I've been just drudged through the muck this year, just the muck of it, the hardest parts of life I feel like I've been confronted with. And when I go back to myself, when I check in with who I am not the me that was sitting here in my bones this time last year. It was actually this time last year, the day after Thanksgiving, that my mom went into the hospital and we started the whole health journey that ended in her dying. And the me then and the me now, I'm so thoughtful. Like, what if the me then knew about the me now? Like, how would I have been living my life different? You know, I would have been hugging people more. I would have been telling them I loved them more. And so now, with that lesson that I have, that I get to carry with me forever now, I'm going to say I love you more. And I'm going to hug people more. And I'm going to feel sublimely compassionate for those of us that are and continue to struggle. But Sagittarius likes the struggle. Sagittarius thinks that there's always a solution. And the truth is that there always is. And it's just our choice to seek it out or not. Sagittarius is the seeker. And that's what we need to be focusing on, the seeking for the reclamation. Happy holidays. I hope you guys have a beautiful day tomorrow. Please go like and subscribe to my page. It helps me to feel so supported in this universe to keep doing what it is that I do and to be in active communication and reciprocity with you as the watcher. Happy seeking, everybody.